This is the moment we've all been waiting for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome. Now, we're here 5 minutes earlier, and I'm noticing that we're not on Circle Debate on Facebook. I don't know why. Some untold reason we're not live on Facebook and whatnot, but whatever. I'll probably put the episode on. We'll figure that out and whatnot. But today, guys, we have no other than my man, the man of the hour, the man with the power, too sweet to be sour, Mr. Mike De Niro from All Elite Dirt Sheet. What up, my dude? You've been on AWOL.
Yeah, man. I've been juggling a lot, but I'm definitely excited to be here, man. I love talking AEW with you after these pay-per-views, bro.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely saw a pay-per-view for the ages. I mean, the way they started, and then in New York City, out of all places and whatnot, even though, you know, they had the I believe the 0 hour wasn't that bad that I know of. I don't remember the hell that 0 hour, but I know they came out with how you call it, the boom. That should just mess my whole shit up for the night. And I was like, I can't watch this fucking dude. I think even this guy almost killed himself on the top rope. What's his name?
Oh, QT Marshall.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck he was trying to do up there. That they had to like go to Plan B and whatnot. I think he got hurt. I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
What happened, but. Like I said, for some untold reason, we're not live on the Circle Debate. I don't fucking know. I spoke to OPC earlier today, but whatever. Anyway, so definitely, you know, overall, your thoughts on the pay-per-view and whatnot, and how they started Dynamite this week. What was your thought on all that? Because I feel like they ended the pay-per-view with a bunch of storylines, and then they went hot this week on Dynamite.
Yeah, man. I said it on the dirt sheet. Like, I don't want to be like that guy who just like everything you see is the best thing ever, right? But tell me a pay-per-view that is better than what we saw on Sunday. Because honestly, I don't think there is. Like, you have Revolution that was an absolute amazing show in what was it, March?
March, yeah.
An amazing show in March. And I thought you couldn't top that. But dude, this show was a whole lot better. First of all, it's in New York, right? Being New Yorkers, like that's always going to give it like that edge. But then on top of that, like seeing people like Mick Foley there. Mick Foley's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Seeing him there and embracing AEW, having like a little promo with MJF was awesome. The action top to bottom was amazing. The Konosuke Takeshita match versus Okada, one of the greatest matches AEW ever put on. Just an insane show. Like, I got to say, pay-per-view wise, this got to be the best AEW pay-per-view there's ever been. Right. And that's saying a lot because they had a lot of bangers. But tell me which pay-per-view was better than the one we saw on Sunday. Double or Nothing was phenomenal. And I hope they run that building in New York again, because this is not the usual building that they do. They usually do the
right. It's not the usual building, because I know I've been. I think the one I went, the first Grand Slam was Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
This was the Louis Armstrong.
Yeah, Arthur Ashe Stadium is currently under construction, so they couldn't do it there. The Louis Armstrong is a little smaller, right?
That shit was packed.
It was packed, but they still is like, I think it's like 6,000 less people than Arthur Ashe.
Yeah,
but
you couldn't tell. 20,000.
But you couldn't tell. That place was loud. It was rocking. An amazing crowd, amazing show. Overall, I gotta say, 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. No matter what you put at the scale at, like, it's a perfect score. Great pay-per-view. And then Dynamite, dude. People always say, how do AEW, they don't follow up with their storylines? They have these great pay-per-views and then their TV doesn't follow up. Dynamite was the perfect follow-up. You had a bunch of storylines going into it. I love the fact that this was 3 hours, because you could really develop all these stories that we saw from the pay-per-view, and every story made sense. It got more build, and I'm excited more now than I was after Double or Nothing.
Yo, check this card out for tonight for Collision. Shit is ridiculous. Let me see if I can put it. See it?
Yeah.
They got Takeshita against Danny Garcia. You got the Death Riders, Mox and Pac versus the Infantry. You got the Young Guns or whatever against the War Dogs. This is definitely it's crazy, because And it's funny because this is all I hear. You know what I'm saying? All the how you call it? AEW doesn't have storylines. And I'm like, yo, the pay-per-view ended with a perfect storyline. They caught everybody by surprise because I didn't even know this shit was gonna happen. I mean, I saw the cockiness, I saw the bragging, but I never got to see him gonna do this turn. I mean, but we're gonna go through it. So I found the notes from fucking from Double or Nothing. I was on the wrong notes. I was on the Dynamite shit. But they had to divide Divine Dominion. They beat what's the name? Steel and Viva Van. Now, I'm not too crazy about this 5-minute shit that they're doing. I mean, we know they are dominant. This tag team is dominant. And the only team I want to see them in that ring with is the Brawling Birds. You agree or not?
I totally agree. I like what they're doing with Ty J too, because that was the original women's tag team in AEW. So I like that they're having that feud, but keep the titles on Divine Dominion, take them to Wembley, and then go against the Brawling Birds, because that's going to be a phenomenal matchup. I like this though. And shout out to Zeta Steel, who is, someone who was signed to WWE, left the WWE to come to AEW. And shout out to Viva Van too. She's a friend of the Circle Debate podcast, friend of Ivan. So shout out to Viva Van.
Yeah, Viva Van. I mean, that girl's been everywhere. That girl, at one point, she was running around with like 6-8 titles at one point.
Yep.
On
her Mercedes Moné shit.
yeah. And then I saw her, the first time I saw her wrestle on TV was at a New Japan Strong match. I think, who the hell she wrestled? I forgot who the hell. I think Stephanie Vaquel, I think she wrestled. Some shit like that. But I saw her, I'm like, no wonder the girl's walking around with 7 belts at that time. She was doing some before Mercedes Moné type shit. But yeah, that was a good match. But I just feel like Viva Van belongs somewhere better than that, instead of being like a talent enhancement, because the girl could wrestle. So the other girl still, I'm not too crazy about her, because ever since she came in, she's not, she's looking at the lights every time I see her. You know what I'm saying? They're not pushing her the way she's supposed to be pushed. But look who she with. She's with Top Flight, and Top Flight. Honestly, I feel like Top Flight should just be let go. If Tony Khan's not going to push them, you might as well let them go, because you're not doing shit with them. You know what I'm saying?
Man. Well, to be honest, like, there was so many starting and stopping with Top Flight, especially with the injuries. Every time it looked like they were about to get a big push, one of them got injured. So it's like, I know they're doing a lot in Ring of Honor. Same thing with Viva Van and Zeta Steel. They do a lot in Ring of Honor. But I mean, right now, as much as I love the product, like, who's watching Ring of Honor? I catch it when they put it on YouTube every now and then, but I'm not paying for an app to watch.
I don't remember what I think. I haven't even watched. Was it Supercar Honor? I haven't watched that shit yet. But
I fell asleep on it. I ordered the pay-per-view. I fucking saw the first matchup, and I woke up and it was the last match. I was like, damn, I was tired. Man.
But I don't know, man. I got to sit down and watch this, because, I got to catch up with a lot of the Maple Leaf Wrestling. I got to catch up those fucking events that they had. Yeah. Clash of the Supercar of Honor. Mm-hmm. It used to be a good banger shit, but now I don't know. I don't know what the hell they doing there, but you know what I'm saying? Then they had the Death Rider versus the Ops. Daniel Garcia ends up pinning Anthony Bowens. I'm not too crazy about this Ops shit. It's now, we saw this past Wednesday. Now Samoa Joe is out again because he's going to finish up the what is it, metal, whatever, that show he has. Yeah, they're gonna have. He's gonna be on I guess on the scene again in June. So he's out again. So now it looks like it's going to be some type of shit. Then when he comes back, Hook is going to have his head gassed up, thinking he's the leader. I mean, we saw that Wednesday. So what's your thought on that?
Yeah, man, I feel like the Ops is like pigeonholed. Every time Samoa Joe is there, the Ops are meaningful. And then when Samoa Joe's not there, they're just like scoundering around. And I feel like you have a lot of talent there. You have Shibata, who's a legend. Hook, who is a really good wrestler. I want to see them continue to develop. Anthony Bowens, even, I didn't think he was going to fit with them, but like, I like Bowens. He's a good wrestler. So like, cool. But if Samoa Joe's not there, then continue to push these guys, like, so you could build that story up. It feels like the last time Joe was gone, like, they were just on Collision, like, show up in like once in a while, and then all of a sudden Samoa Joe comes back and they're in like all the big storylines. So I feel like if you are going to have them turn, like, have Samoa Joe and Hook feud, you got to do something, but you got to keep the Ops on TV to keep that story going if Joe's going to be gone.
This is one match that I said to myself, I don't know if Tony Khan has Shane Taylor, because why he makes his group look stupid. They had him in there. Shane Taylor promotes versus a conglomeration, and fucking AJ Boone. Why are we seeing this guy every fucking other pay-per-view, bro?
He has a following.
Like,
he has a following, man.
I don't, bro. Like, I don't want to see this kid, little fat kid, rubbing his chin all the time. Like, these kids getting involved in matches. I'm like, all right, do you like this? I mean, it gives me that WWE feeling.
It does, and you know what? Like, at first I didn't like it either, right? But then when I went to what was it, Full Gear in 2025, one of them, right? I went to Full Gear. It was in Jersey, and the pop that crowd got, that AJ got, that was it the Rizzler got, it was deafening in there for the. And I was surprised. I was like, dude, why is it so loud for these guys? Like, I thought they were annoying, like TikTok guys, and I'm like, they don't belong here. All of a sudden, that crowd's going crazy for them. And I'm like, yo, if the crowd reacts like that, like, how could you deny it? Like, of course you want to bring them back. That crowd, they react for them every single time. So if they're going to continue to react, then I say keep bringing them in, because I feel like, especially with a show like this, if you're going to have like great wrestling matches and hardcore wrestling and just like match after match after match after match, it's okay to have that little spot where you have that, like, you know, comedy haha team, or that like levity. I hate that it comes in the, you know, the expense of Shane Taylor Promotions, but I feel like it's okay as long as it stays here in this place. Keep it on the pre-shows, have it once in a while. Don't have him there every week. Don't have him winning the tag team titles. But if it's a pre-show thing that you do for pay-per-views, especially on the East Coast because they're from New York, then I feel like it's all right, especially if the crowd's reacting.
But here's my thing, right? You're doing it at the expense of the 6-man tag team champions. Actually, I say still the 6-man, because I think
I think
the Blade Runners beat them.
Yeah, with the
But I mean, I don't know, because I mean, I feel like Shane Taylor, I think one of the greatest. I think he was the television champion for a while in Ring of Honor back before they closed it down. Yeah. Former 6-man. This guy has put everything in the business, yet they put him in matches against, again, AJ Boone or whoever, you know what I'm saying? It just, to me, it feels like you're not helping him at all. That's just me. I mean, I look at it at a bigger picture. I understand that AJ Boone, like you said, he got a loud pop, and he probably still gives a loud pop, especially if this was in New York. So if you're telling me he got a loud pop at New Jersey, imagine New York. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's just because as soon as I see him, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go clean the sink or do something, because I really don't care for it, because I know it's comedy. Yeah. You know, but I still feel like when you do that, you're hurting a Ring of Honor talent, because then now someone who does never seen Ring of Honor, you're trying to promote Ring of Honor, and then they see this guy, Shane Taylor. I was like, wasn't he got pinned by that guy with the boom? That's not a good look for Ring of Honor. That's why Ring of Honor, I think, you're not getting that TV deal is because they're not taking it seriously. I mean, do you agree with that?
No, I definitely agree. And I've been saying you can't have, you know, Ring of Honor talent looking like, you know, all-stars in Ring of Honor, and then you bring them up and they're all jobbers in AEW. Like, that's a very bad perception-wise. Look at someone like Lee Moriarty. Like, he's been the pure champion for over a year. He's been killing it, right? Every time he's in the ring, he has classics in Ring of Honor. And he comes up here, he's taking losses to Big Boom AJ. So it's like, I agree. Like, if you're going to have your Ring of Honor talent, separate the roster. You have enough jobbers on AEW that you could put in this matchup. Yeah. You didn't have to fucking put, you know, the Ring of Honor talent in there where you're going to make them look bad. So then in turn, next time there's a Ring of Honor show and I see Shane Taylor on the show, I'm like, oh, that's just the guy that lost to Big Boom AJ. Like, I would have it separate. And I feel like that's something that they need to do drastically. Separate the rosters. Ring of Honor stays with Ring of Honor. AEW stays with AEW. You could have some people in, like Bandito. I love seeing Bandito. Athena, I'm glad she's in the tournament, right? But like, not everybody in Ring of Honor has to be on AEW. Not everybody in AEW has to be in Ring of Honor. You know what I mean? Like, treat it kind of like your NXT. Like, WWE does this really good where they like develop the talent in NXT, and then when they eventually go up to WWE, like, they either hit or they miss. But it's not like every week you're bringing in talent from NXT to job out to, you know, The Miz or something, and then they go back to NXT and they're supposed to be like a champion. So I would treat it the exact same way.
You know, it's crazy, but we're gonna get to, once we get to the match, we're gonna be talking about Bandito, because there's a couple of things that has happened with Bandito and a couple of pay-per-views that I'm like, he's the world champion. But we're gonna talk about that. So anyway, so this was the 0 hour. Then the pay-per-view started, and they started with a damn bang. It was the I Quit match between Cage, Copeland versus FTR. Now, I already knew that this match was not going to disappoint. And boy, it did not disappoint. Especially when we saw Beth Copeland, we could go on a call, because I'm going to call her Beth Phoenix, but Beth Copeland And I had a feeling that this was going to be the way it was going to end up. But this match, to open a damn pay-per-view with this match, bro, AEW hit a home run with the opening of this match.
Sure.
I mean, and all we saw, as soon as that match was over, especially that fucking poisonous app called X, we were like, oh, why they 50 years old? I don't want to hear WWE 50 years old. They got tag team title again. And I said this in my podcast on Thursday. A lot of these people are clueless, or they don't follow up the storyline, or they watch to hate because they know the announcement that Copeland is about to retire, and we knew this was going to happen. Now, this match lived up to the hype, to the ending, and I loved it. What are your thoughts?
First of all, I just want to say, for the whole thing about age, I didn't hear nobody complaining that Sting was the tag team champion, and Sting was 64. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, my thing is, when it comes to age, if you are still getting a reaction, if you still got it in the ring, there shouldn't be no problem. That crowd was reacting really loud for Cope and Cage. They were singing his song, like they were reacting to everything they do. And they still move really well in the matchup. It's not like they were like, looking old in there. So it's like, I don't like that whole age comparison thing, because it's like, bro, if they could still go and they're still getting reaction, then there should be no, comment. People fucking love Terry Funk, and he retired at like 79. Like, leave that whole age shit alone.
Terry Funk was Terry Funk at 57. I remember, was it 97? He must have been like 54, 55, and he was in that ring with Sabu in a barbed wire match, and that's what Sabu cut his whole thing, and nobody was complaining about that.
Bro, Terry Funk retired for the first time in 1978. Like,
wow,
think about that.
1978? Really?
1978, he retired after he left the NWA. He retired. He comes back. He retires in 86, retires in 97. And let's just say I saw a Terry Funk match in 2012 for House of Hardcore. So that just shows you, like, the guy kept on coming back. This matchup was crazy, man. Like, I never seen a matchup or a card where the first matchup, even in ECW, the first matchup of the night had a flaming table. Like,
oh yeah,
you already know, like, it's about to be crazy. This was a great matchup. The right team went over. I still feel like they should have won in Canada. You would have got the big pop there, but I understand having it like move over to here. Having Beth there was awesome, like getting her revenge for what they did to her last year. Really good matchup. The right team went over, and now you have the opportunity to have these dream matches going into the big all-in pay-per-view. Because think about who they're bringing in. You're bringing in the New Day. You're bringing in the Motor City Machine Guns. You have the Young Bucks there. You see that they're about to feud with the Dogs. I don't see this being a long title reign, but I could see them doing like the greatest hits, having these matches against all these top tag teams, and then you have Adam Copeland go back to singles and then probably retire at the end of the year. But I think that this is awesome. Like, I don't know how anyone could hate on this. Phenomenal matchup, great moment, and they're a legendary tag team holding the tag team titles. How could you be mad at that?
It will be great. Because now we saw it Wednesday. Now the Dogs are the ones next for the title. I say why? These motherfuckers are getting pinned every fucking other week.
That's what I said.
Up with other people and whatnot. But what is the theme in wrestling? If you attack the champions for any reason, you're gonna get a title shot. That's the way it is. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are like, oh, why are the Dogs getting attacked? Because they're the heel. They attack the champions, and they're gonna get a title shot. Now, how long does this storyline and this story's gonna go? Would it go past Forbidden Door? We don't know. But I could see in Forbidden Door, we could probably see the Young Bucks. Maybe we still could see FTR and Edge and Christian, or Edge, Copeland and Cage in a table, ladder, and chair match, or whatever they want to call it, and whatnot. And we could have that, because right now it looks, as far as FTR is concerned, the word around is that they got an option in their contract. Now you have a lot of these wannabe journalists talking about, oh, they're coming back to WWE. That's not gonna happen, because first of all, what has FTR done when WWE fans and whatever they attack AEW? They the first one, looking out for the company and talking and whatnot. Yeah. I don't see them leaving to WWE, because to me, what the people don't understand is wrestlers watch other promotions. Okay, they already seen what happened. They Aleister Black just went over there, and a year later he's out of there. You see what they're doing to Rusev. You think they're gonna go to WWE in a tag team when they don't got no tag team? Why will FTR go to WWE? You know what I'm saying? They even talking about bringing Enzo and Big Bill over there. I mean, they're not going nowhere. So I think in Forbidden Door, we could see a three-way with tables, ladder, whatever included, because they're going to have a TLC match before Cage and Copeland retires. It's going to happen. So, especially now what we saw with the War Dogs,
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I also took note for during Double or Nothing, the first three weapons that we saw in that matchup was a chair, a table, and a ladder. I was like, is this, saying that we're going to see that going down like in the near future? Excuse me. Also, on top of that, for like the whole FTR, like WWE thing, FTR, they love tag team wrestling, right? Why would you want to go to a company that is just firing every tag team or breaking every tag team up? You fire the Motor City Machine Guns. You got rid of the Wyatt Six. You got rid of the MFTs. You got rid of Ciampa, so you have no more DIY. You're breaking up the Street Profits. Why, if I'm a tag team, WWE is like toxic ground right now, because if we're a tag team, we're going to probably get fired, ask for a pay cut, or get separated. I feel like right now, when you see how many amazing tag teams are coming in, how many amazing tag teams you have, AEW is where tag team wrestling lives right now. And then you, like I said, you add the Young Bucks. I mean, you add the New Day to that. You add the Motor City Machine Guns to that. You're about to be giving. You're going to have the greatest era of tag team wrestling all in one promotion right now. This is something special. FTR knows that they want to be a part of that if they want to be in the conversation for greatest tag team of all time. So I don't think they leave at all.
Yeah, and not only that, but when AEW started, what was it all about? Tag teams. It was all about tag teams. So, oh shit, I got comments here. Okay, what we got? What up, Justin? I'm over here.
What up, Justin?
He said, definitely feel they'll be setting up Rolling Birds for All In this year against Divide Dominion. Well, that's a long time. If that's the case.
Yeah.
Shit. It says Zeta was really put top flight with Layla Gray. Layla Gray got hurt. That's my girl. I mean, who else? There, unfortunately, there's no consistency with the ops. Yeah, we see that already.
Yeah.
Ever since Powerhouse Hobbs left, it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
That group is not the same.
That threw a curveball in the whole.
Yeah, gotta give it to AJ. He's pretty good in the ring competitor. Or AJ Boom. Cookie Man. I call him Cookie Man. Ring of Honor's title and wrestling only means something when Tony wants to care about them. And you know what? I usually don't agree with when it comes to title about Ring of Honor with Justin, but this one, I agree. And like I said, I want to talk about Bandito because a couple of things has happened with Bandito.
Can I just say something, like, not to like go back to the Ring of Honor conversation, but Ring of Honor, when it first started, before they got to like Sinclair Broadcasting and HDNet and all that, they didn't have a weekly television show. No. And I feel like AEW is trying to keep up with the weekly television show because that's what they had right before they went out. Right?
No, I think they did have a weekly show.
Now, but I'm talking about before like 2010, like from 2002 all the way to 2010, it was just a monthly show that they would put like a supercard together.
Yeah,
right?
You're right.
Why not treat Ring of Honor like that? People will go and care more if you have supercards at least like once a month, and you don't have to keep up with storylines every single week because no one watches the TV product anyway.
Well, if you mean to tell me there's always a simp who's willing to pay $10 a month.
Exactly. But now tell me, if I was running Ring of Honor and I told you that every month we're going to have a supercard of the best indie wrestlers or the best wrestlers on the product, and it's just going to be a supercard once a month for Ring of Honor, doesn't that feel more special than having a show that's weekly that no one cares about?
Yeah, well,
I think you should do it like that. Do that shit like how it used to be ran back in the day.
When the way they ran in AEW when they first started, it was pay-per-views.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I guess because they're trying, I mean, they keep signing all these people, and a lot of the indies, guys are now on the Ring of Honor, and I blame it really WWE because WWE still got NXT, they got Evolve, but when they feel like cutting people off, where they're gonna go? They're not gonna go to TNA. You know what I'm saying? TNA right now. And I still ask if there's created problems with TNA. There's the rumors going around that there is creative problems and whatnot. Other people say no, but I'm seeing it. They losing viewers every week, and you can't say that's hockey, whatever. But you go from 250,000 in AMC to now 176 or 178, whatever it is. So there's not a lot of places that these indie guys go, so they go to Ring of Honor. And I mean, you've seen the arenas in Ring of Honor. I mean, people are making fun of it all. It looks like a boys and girls club because there's nothing, I don't see Tony Khan really pushing to get a channel. If you were to get a channel, people gonna be like, oh man, I want to see Ring of Honor. You know what I'm saying? And that's not what's happening right now,
The show
So,
should be on YouTube every week. It shouldn't be behind the paywall. No one's going to pay for that.
Yeah, because I think even if they go to YouTube, people are going to watch it more. I think they'll watch it more. It's like the same thing with the AAA. A lot of people ain't going to watch that. A lot of people, and AAA is another one. A lot of people, the only reason people are watching the AAA, even though they say some matches are good, but once that Grand Americano Starbucks shit is storyline's over, that's it. Well, what are they going to talk? What are they going to, what are they going to do? Nothing. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, so moving on from the FTR versus Cage and Copeland, we had the match that I was waiting for almost 6 months, and that was Konosuke Takeshita, which I feel he's the best Japanese wrestler right now in Japan, against Kazuchika Okada, one of the greatest Japanese wrestlers in our modern time. And boy, this was another match that did not disappoint, but the ending, I didn't see this shit coming at all. And this is why it's called this title is called Betrayals, Attacks, and New Champion. AEW was unhinged. Yes, it was, because this shit was nuts. But take it, Mike De Niro.
Yeah, man. Like I know people that were in the crowd that said that this was probably the greatest matchup they ever seen live. Right? Crowd was going crazy. Amazing matchup. I honestly think that this is the match of the year so far, right? For any promotion. And I'm going to tell you right now, if this was inside the Tokyo Dome in the main event of Wrestle Kingdom, this would have been one of the greatest Wrestle Kingdom main events too, as well. That's how good this matchup was, right? And it was just the second match of the night. That's how crazy this card is.
That's crazy, right?
Crazy.
That's nuts.
Crazy.
Second
this is in
match
Tokyo,
of the night.
Though, if this was Wrestle Kingdom, that's the main event. 100% that's the main event.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that just shows how amazing these two guys are. Like Okada, man, like for year after year after year, he's just so crisp in everything he does. He makes everything look so just easy. And Takeshita, dog, he has been the best wrestler, not just Japanese wrestler. He's been the best wrestler on that roster for quite a while. And I'm glad that he's got an opportunity now to run with the title. This was an amazing, amazing matchup. The post-match, insane. Did not expect Kyle Fletcher to be back because I thought that Fletcher was still injured, right? Mm-hmm. And then when I saw Fletcher like raise Takeshita's hand, I've been saying that I think that we're going to see a revolt by these guys in the Don Callis family. You got Andrade looking like he's turning babyface. You got Fletcher, who was questioning Don Callis about working with MJF a couple months ago. I was like, yo, we're going to have the good guys versus the bad guys. You're going to have Takeshita, Fletcher, Andrade. They're going to go against Okada and Hechicero and Josh Alexander. I did not expect freaking Kyle Fletcher to turn heel, man. But you know what? I'm excited that he did, because Fletcher versus Takeshita for that title is possibly, and this is no disrespect to Okada, but possibly that matchup could be even better than this one. I'm very excited for everything that they're doing.
Oh, I think that match is going to be crazy. Now,
oh yeah,
do I see Takeshita with a short reign with that international title? Maybe not. Maybe these two are going to go at it probably at All In. Or it could be Forbidden Door, because Forbidden Door, we could see that. But right now, let's be realistic. Kyle Fletcher is the fucking future of fucking AEW. That guy, this is the same guy I met with him and Mark Davis when they were Aussie Open in 2023. I think I met him in House of Glory. I mean, and they were good then as a tag team. Look at them as they flourish, both of them. Because Mark Davis is a fucking big beast. This guy is he's a nut job, bro.
Yeah.
And now Jack Doyle's back. So that's how, when those two that tag team gets together, who's gonna beat them? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But Fletcher right now, that guy, his match with Handman for the world title a couple of months ago, he showed you that he's world title material. And I so the minute he raised Takeshita, I said, here comes the clothesline. Here comes the clothesline. Me and my brother look at each other. Here comes the clothesline, and boom, and it happened. And I thought the same thing. I thought the Andrades, Takeshita, Fletcher against the Don Callis family, any combination, because Josh Alexander is out. He's injured. Yeah. I said, that's going to be very interesting. But we're talking about the Don Callis. There's always a plan. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, this was perfect. Because now we'll probably see either Forbidden Door, these two go at it. I don't see Takeshita losing the belt right away to Kyle Fletcher, but he may lose it at All In. That's the way I'm looking at it. So yeah, I definitely agree. And back to the story of like everyone saying that, oh, look at all the old guys in AEW. Dude, look at all the young guys in AEW. Kyle Fletcher's 27 years old, man. He has a lot of time in front of him. You got MJF, who's only 30. Freaking Kevin Knight, who I think is like 29. They have such a even I think Takeshi's like 32. Like 31.
You have such a 31. Yeah, he has such a crop of talent of young guys that could take this company into the future for like the next 20 years. Like, I understand there's a lot of guys that are like over 45 and 50. But dude, when you look at the crop of talent that they have, the young guys too, and how good they are now, imagine where they're going to be at 35, 36, 37. It's going to be insane. So I love what they got right now. The influx of young talent that are just this good.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, those two matches to start the show was fucking incredible. That was crazy.
1-2 punch was crazy.
Yeah. And then they kind of slow it down, which in a way, I don't think he kind of slowed it down. We had the Owen Hart women's tournament, the first round, which was Athena against Mina Shirakawa. I mean, I seen these two girls go at it. So I expected Athena to win this match. Do you think Athena's going to win the whole tournament? Because I got her as winning the whole thing.
Unfortunately, I don't. I think that the wild card might win the whole thing because
I don't know who the hell's the wild card. I'm thinking, it's funny that you mentioned the wild card. When they mentioned the wild card on Wednesday, I was saying to myself, who's out there that's a free agent? Unless it's Mercedes.
That's exactly what I think.
Like, didn't Mercedes win last year?
No.
Yeah, she won last year.
Yeah, she did win last year. She did win last year.
It can't be Mercedes.
I mean, yeah. I personally would like Athena, right? I think Athena's been killing in Ring of Honor. It's been a long time coming. She needs to be up here and do that type of run that she had in Ring of Honor in AEW. But like, if you bring back Mercedes in time for the All In pay-per-view, where do you put her if she's not in a title matchup? Like, I feel like if you want to have, whether you love her or hate her, like, she is the biggest star on that women's roster, right? And if you take Mercedes and you put her on the biggest pay-per-view, you would want her wrestling for your world title. So the only thing I would think of is Mercedes is the wild card and she earns the title shot at All In. I think that it would be cool if Harley Cameron is the wild card as well, like take over for Willow. They were the Babes of Wrath. She's been improving a lot, like see her in there. She's not going to win it, but if it's anybody else besides Mercedes, I could see Athena taking it all the way because she deserves it. After the run she has in Ring of Honor, I think she's like 1,200 days Ring of Honor women's champion.
1,268, some shit like that.
Crazy. So with that being said, like, yeah, she deserves to be AEW Women's Champion, and her and Tekla would be a great match too. So I would. I
don't see Harley Cameron. The reason I don't say that is because of the Philly street fight, which she kind of, I don't know what she was doing there, but she came in and helped Chris Stanlander and gave her the candlestick. So I see Sheeta feuding with her, so that's why I don't see her now. Somebody said Persephone here. Who the hell said that? Is it? Oh, that's OPC. What up, buddy? Mr. Familia. What's up? Thank you for the anniversary shout out and whatnot. Of course, I got to be with my boy Nero. This guy is a encyclopedia when it comes to AEW.
Appreciate that.
Mark Davis back in New Japan for me was the Stan Hansen AJPW here. AEW.
I like that.
He's doing it now. Guys are fucking crazy. He's getting He's getting better and better. He reminds me of Stan Hansen.
Yeah.
He does. Who else? Let me see. I'm going to Persephone winning the whole thing. Persephone, from what I hear, she's hurt. That's what I heard. I don't know if she's gonna. I think wasn't she announced to be part of that shit?
She's announced for, I believe, the first match she was supposed to be in. Her versus Haruki or something from Stardom. But the thing is, it's like, as much as I like Persephone, you remember the winner of this gets to main event, or not main event, but wrestle for the women's world champion at All In. That's your biggest pay-per-view. I like Persephone. I don't think that they look at her as a women's world champion right now, wrestling for the world title, like in your biggest show.
She is the TMML women's world champion, though.
No, of course. But like, when you think of all the women that you have on this roster, do you think Persephone, as if we have the biggest show, this is the biggest women's matchup we could do, is Persephone versus Tekla? I don't think so. I think that she's really talented, but like, I'm thinking like Mercedes, I'm thinking bring back Tony, I'm thinking like these type of women. Like, it's a different caliber.
We know Tony ain't coming back. So I think it might be, knowing Tony Khan, the way he thinks, he may have Mercedes back and win the shit for the second time. And
if it wasn't Mercedes, then I think they would have still had the matchup at the pay-per-view. Because originally the pay-per-view was supposed to be Alex Windsor versus Willow, not the Athena versus Mina match. That matchup took place because Willow was hurt and they couldn't get that replacement in, because I feel like it would have been too last minute to bring Mercedes back for that. And they still were building for Mercedes' return. So I think that is going to end up being Mercedes, but I guess we'll find out on Dynamite this week.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be very interesting, that whole situation. But I would love Athena to win it. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah.
so if Athena had dropped the title, then definitely could have seen her winning. Yeah, that is true. I don't know why. I think Tony Khan is hesitant to have this girl drop that title because he doesn't trust any other girl in Ring of Honor.
I don't know why. He has a lot of
you still
talent.
got Red Velvet. She's day one girl. She has improved. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, Taya Valkyrie, Deonna Purrazzo.
Taya Valkyrie. You know, I think, and this is one thing, and I don't mean to cut you off. Taya Valkyrie, she's good, but whose fault is it that she's been looked at as a clown? Well, her husband and the other fucking MSN, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So nobody's gonna take her serious as a world champion.
Deonna Purrazzo, one of the
Deonna
greatest.
Purrazzo.
Like that should be a women's world champion right there.
And she's a pure champion though.
Dude, they don't need 3 different women champions. Like that's insane. Nobody watches the show. They have 4 different women's champions on there. Like, come on, man.
But I think Purrazzo is the pure women's champion. I think. Yeah, I think he won the whole fucking tournament. So
and then you got I believe Red Velvet is the TV champion.
Yeah, she's
you don't gotta do all that shit, man. You're like, come on, dude. No one watches the show to begin with. You only need like 5 women's titles. Like that's insane.
Well, they're following, I think, fucking WWE. You know, they got a bunch of titles. So the next match we had, this is a classic, bro. It was the AEW Continental title match, no time limit. It was Jon Moxley versus Kyle O'Reilly, another classic and whatnot. I mean, but there was I think a promo that O'Reilly said after the match, and he said that he forced Jon Moxley to use different offense against him. I believe he did. This was a great match between these two. Listen, if they go at it again, take my money. I'll go doing number 3, actually number 4, because they have wrestled plenty of times, and these guys match up beautifully.
Yeah, I agree, man. They have such great chemistry with each other. I think this was their best matchup. Like, I love that Jon Moxley had to pull out different like submissions and have to like beat O'Reilly at his own game, making him tap with the ankle lock. Only thing that took away from the match, right? I've been saying it on DeLorean, I've been saying it on Dirt Sheet. Like, dude, no disrespect to the legend, right? No disrespect to JR. I love JR, right? Greatest announcer of all time. Like, but dog, why is he out there? And he doesn't know who Kyle O'Reilly is. He kept on asking who he is, and this kid, and he's like, oh, Nigel, what's his name again? It's like, dude, if you don't know who the wrestlers are, then maybe you shouldn't be calling the matchup. You know what I mean? And like, come on, AEW. We know that JR is with the company. We don't need to parade him out here. If you're going to bring him out there, bring him for a match that he's aware of who the wrestlers are. Like, he knew Jon Moxley, and he thought this was like a young kid coming in. And they had to tell him like 5 times, like, no, this guy actually beat Jon Moxley. If you're not aware of the storyline, then it just made Kyle O'Reilly seem like some jobber because you got this legendary announcer who doesn't even know his name. He asked Nigel McGuinness 3 times, what's his name again?
Yeah, that had me dying because I thought I was the only one. Well, yeah, and I kept saying, why he keeps calling him the kid, right? Then toward the end of the match, he said Moxley's the new champion. I'm like, wait, Moxley was the champion. I was like, poor JR. He's up there. I mean, I think his contract is up in August, something like that. But they should not bring him back because he's lost.
At one point, he said during the matchup, he said, it must mean a lot for a kid like this to step into the ring in AEW in a match like this against Jon Moxley. And then Excalibur was like, well, this is actually a guy who beat Jon Moxley 3 times before. And he was like, he did. It's like, bro, why? Like, it makes the match sound like it. That matchup had a lot of drama because of everything that happened before that matchup, right?
Yeah.
And then if you watch the matchup for the first time, you need somebody to explain, hey, you might know Jon Moxley. Kyle O'Reilly beat him. He made him tap out 3 times, right? This is a big deal. Instead, you got the legendary voice of JR saying that he doesn't know who this guy is and why is he in this matchup with Jon Moxley.
Yeah.
They could have given the guy notes. Like, give him some notes before he goes out here. Like, JR, before you go out there, Kyle O'Reilly beat him 3 times. His name is Kyle O'Reilly. Just remember that. Go out there. Like,
listen, I love JR. JR, one of the greatest. But he's not there anymore. He should be nowhere near a microphone. The guy's 77 years old. You know
that's on Tony Khan, bro. You don't need to bring him in for these big shows. Like,
yeah, because you already got, first of all, you got Excalibur, who's a great commentator. Tony Schiavone, he'll do his little mark shit, but that's the way he always been.
Yeah.
You got Taz, and then you got Nigel McGuinness. When you got Nigel McGuinness and Tony Schiavone and Excalibur together, that is a fun commentating team.
Of course, yeah.
When you got JR talking about this kid, and then toward the end of the match, he says, oh, Moxley's the new champion. I was like, what? what the hell's going on? I'm like,
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I can't fault them because again, this is what Tony Khan's being a good guy. You know what I'm saying? This would have been WWE, this would never happen. He would have been sent home. You know what I'm saying? Don't come back. You know what I'm saying? But Tony Khan's a nice guy. He figures, look, he only got 2 months left for his contract, and don't be surprised if Tony Khan does not bring him back.
Dude,
he just fell again. Not long. I think Saturday, the day before.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, but if you are going to bring him in, like I understand he's known for his commentary, but you couldn't find another spot for him. You couldn't have like a backstage segment of him going into like Darby Allin's locker room and be like, you gotta do it for everyone in AEW. We can't have MJF. Like, give Darby Allin a pep talk like Mick Foley did. Do something like that. Like, let's not have him on commentary where he doesn't know the rest of his names because it diminishes the matchup. Especially when you built to this matchup for over a year, you build up to the final showdown between them, and then you got a guy in commentary who doesn't even know the guy's name. Insane.
Now this feud between O'Reilly and Moxley, I say it's pretty much over. Now, this past Wednesday, we saw Omega and Ospreay talking in the locker room, and Omega was giving his concern as Ospreay dealing with the Death Riders, right? Now, we saw that after they were talking, we saw Jon Moxley go into the locker room and say, and I quote, people have skeletons in their closet, right? I have a feeling that this is going to put Omega in a situation where he's going to start feuding with the Death Riders. And we'll probably see Omega versus Moxley for the Continental title at All In. Your thoughts?
Yeah, man, I'm like tossed up with this because as soon as I saw Ospreay and Omega, and then when Omega's leaving, Ospreay says, like, keep your head up, like you can still win the championship. I don't know. I have a weird feeling that Omega's going to beat MJF for the title at Redemption in Canada. And then we're going to get Omega versus Ospreay in front of.
We can't have MJF lose the belt again.
I agree. But this is the second time after a pay-per-view you got Ospreay and Omega talking about that world championship.
Mm-hmm.
You have the biggest show coming up. Like, I don't know. I feel like it would be a mistake. I think that the biggest match you could do right now is Ospreay versus MJF at Wembley. I just feel like if you continue to foreshadow Omega's involvement with the world champion and Ospreay and Omega's involvement with that world champion, like, are they going to do something like that? Especially you have Redemption in Canada. Like, is this going to be Kenny Omega winning the title in Canada because it didn't happen at Dynasty? Like, I don't know. I personally don't want it to happen, but I could see them pulling the trigger and doing Omega and Ospreay at All In.
Well, they better figure out, because right now they went with the story with Jon Moxley, questioning, Omega about, you got skeletons in the closet. That means that he knows something about Omega and whatnot. So we got June Forbidden Door, then you got July Redemption. So between that time, that's almost 60 days. Let's say 60 days. You're going to have a story that's going to lead from Moxley to him beating MJF at Redemption and then going to All In in August. I don't think so. I mean, I do agree with what you're saying, but do we really want to see another Omega versus Ospreay at All In? We just saw that a couple of years ago.
I would love to see them go at it again, but I just don't think at All In. Like, I would rather, if you build up that feud, have Ospreay beat MJF at All In, build it up, continue to build it up, and have them like have a match by like World's End or something. Like, don't take the title off of MJF prematurely again. Like, it worked for Darby because Darby's title reign was fun, but don't do that again, because like then you're just hot potatoing the world champion.
Yeah. So, well, and we'll see what happens, because I mean that was very interesting what happened Thursday and whatnot.
I could see what you said too. Sorry, not to cut you up, but I could see Omega versus Moxley, because I don't see who could take the title from Moxley, and I don't see who would be Moxley's opponent at all. And so if you build up to Moxley and Omega, they always had classic matches. So I think probably we could see an Omega versus Moxley for the Continental title, because I think that's the only title that Omega hasn't had. He has won every fucking title in AEW. Really think about it. So that's the only belt that's eluding him right now. It's that belt. So we could probably see that. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. I mean, I like the whole thing with that Will Ospreay. I think that's one of the fucking best stories that they got in AEW right now. 100%, man. 100%.
So, and I love what Ospreay told him. He's like, dude, you're not here every week. And Omega said, I can't be here every week. Why you can't be there every week? So it's like you giving me, it's like saying you giving me advice, but you're not here every week.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Exactly.
you know,
it brought realism to it because
they got enough time. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they got enough time. Let me see. What you say? They got enough to determine what direction they're going with for All In. Remember, Ospreay is getting married, but that's in June. That's why I believe July. Well, it's in June. It's before. I know it's before Dominion. It's not going to be in Dominion because Dominion is June 20th, 21st, and then July is Redemption. So I don't know. I don't know. You two guys could be right, but that's 60 days. You're going to put all that cramped in. I mean, remember, you still have this week coming up. We got Roosh versus MJF. You still got Andrade going after MJF. And God knows what other opponents. I mean, you got
Briscoe
a bunch of guys.
and
you got a bunch of. I mean, Briscoe. I don't see why Briscoe should get a title shot. Yeah, you beat him in a hardcore match, but you know that threw me off on Wednesday. I was like, why are you here? You know what I'm saying?
I could see that. I know they're doing Fight for the Fallen in the next couple of weeks. I could see that being like a Fight for the Fallen or something, not at a pay-per-view for sure.
Yeah. So, the Owen Hart tournament is Will Ospreay versus Samoa Joe. This was an awesome match, and how many times he hit Samoa Joe with the damn that hidden blade? Like 2-3 times. But
yeah, man.
It was a pretty good match. That was like a match because I was surprised that he even bowed down to Ospreay after the match. And once I saw that, I said, okay, that's the end of the story between the Ops and Will Ospreay. So now what happens to the Ops? We saw what happened with the Ops this week when Samoa Joe left. Now, where does Ospreay go from here? Well, of course, I think he's gonna win the whole damn tournament. That's the way, because I think who he wrestles next? Mark Davis.
Mark Davis, yeah.
And he's gonna get even with Mark Davis after the fucking beating Mark Davis gave him. Mm-hmm. So he might hit him with 3 hitting blades at one night. Because you're not gonna make that guy give up. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So what's your thought on that match? I mean, because I think it's next week or the week after. So what's your thought?
The match with Samoa Joe was phenomenal. I loved how Ospreay hit the Os cutter like as soon as Joe hit the ring. Really good matchup. Another great matchup on the pay-per-view. I definitely think that the Mark Davis matchup is set up for Will Ospreay to get that win back and advance to the finals. I think we're definitely probably going to see Ospreay versus Swerve for the finals of the tournament. And then like Ospreay got to win. I mean, building up to Wembley, winner gets a title shot at Wembley. It makes sense for Ospreay to finally get that title shot in front of his hometown. So I think that Ospreay goes all the way.
Yeah, because I think Swerve beat Ospreay the first time they met.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. At Forbidden Door. Yeah, it was the main event at Forbidden Door. I think 24. I was there.
So we're definitely probably gonna see that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Something like that. So yeah, he's gonna get it. This is what I like about that 2 years planning. That's that New Japan style. Plan for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So because I don't see Brody King being Swerve. They might have a good match in my opinion, but I don't see Brody King. I'd be surprised if Brody King wins. You know what I'm saying? That'd be so. And then of course the Swerve versus Bandito. Swerve ended up beating Bandito. This was a good match. But here's my problem. How you got the Ring of Honor World Champion losing 2 pay-per-views straight to guys from AEW? How is that helping again Ring of Honor? And how is that helping your world champion and whatnot? So you're trying to make it the AEW is the biggest, more dominant than Ring of Honor. When you got your world champion, he should be giving a title shot to Andrade. I forgot who else he lost before that.
MJF.
And now Swerve.
Yeah.
He should be giving those title shots. Don't you agree?
I totally agree. I mean, I would have, especially like not to go all the way back to Revolution, but before that pay-per-view, Andrade was talking about, wanting titles and stacking titles. That's why he went to CMLL, or he went against Claudio for the CMLL title. Like it made sense. Like you should have put the Ring of Honor title on the line, especially if, you had this whole thing about Andrade wants championship gold. And then that would make Ring of Honor seem special too, because it's like Andrade is a big star. If you did it here with Swerve is a big star. Having Swerve as the Ring of Honor world champion because he beat him in this tournament would be awesome. Or even if it just meant that because Swerve beat him here, that the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view is going to be Swerve versus Bandito, right? That would make sense too. But it's like, You're supposed to just forget that Ring of Honor exists. Like they mention it here and there that he's the Ring of Honor World Champion until he loses. Then there's no mention of it. And it's like, you're supposed to just forget. And that's why I don't like have 2 separate rosters or don't do the co-promotion. And if you are going to do the co-promotion, then like I said, Swerve should be getting a title shot. Andrade should be getting a title shot, at least not, change the titles here at Double or Nothing, but there should be, especially Swerve attacked Andrade. I mean, he attacked Bandito at Supercard of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
There should be no reason why Swerve does not get the next title shot at Ring of Honor's next show. He attacked him at a Ring of Honor show. He beat the Ring of Honor World Champion. Like, why is he not number 1 contender right now?
Yeah, but the next pay-per-view most likely will be Death Before Dishonor. That's what, September? So,
well, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
They don't do pay-per-view like they used to. They only do like 3 pay-per-views for Ring of Honor.
But that's what I'm saying. If they got rid of the weekly show and they just did like a monthly or bi-monthly show for Ring of Honor, and it's just like a super card, right? It doesn't, you don't need storylines in Ring of Honor. Like, you could just have like these super cards of wrestlers that are not always on AEW, but you have like all this like talent. Like, have these super cards like once a month, and you could easily do a Swerve versus Bandito match at like the end of June or in mid-June for that. Like it would make sense.
Yeah. Now we're gonna go to the 4-way between the Tekla, Shida, Statlander, and Jamie Hayter. This match lived up to the hype, and Tekla, of course, retains. I didn't see any of these girls gonna win that belt. Tekla right now, however you put it, that woman, her promos, her wrestling skills, even though she's small, that woman is fire. Okay, she was fire when she was in Stardom. She's a fire right now. Yeah. And I like what they're doing. Let her keep that belt. And the only one that I could see beating her is Mercedes. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But what was your thought of this 4-way? I mean, Hayter, again, I don't know why they keep putting Hayter in was it Hayter, Statlander, and Shida?
Yeah.
You have always one of the Brawling Birds in singles matches. Why? You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been going on for the whole month. And when Jamie Hayter getting another title shot, why? I don't understand it. So, I mean, what was your thought on that?
I been thinking that the whole build for this matchup was horrible. I agree. I mean, you should be building up women tag teams to go against the Brawling Birds, to keep the Brawling Birds strong, to go against the Divine Dominion, but I don't think they have enough women's tag teams right now. So it's like we had to separate them for a little bit so we could get, but it's like I don't know why you would even put them together in the first place if you're not going to have them running as a tag team. They should be beating tag teams every week or every, pay-per-view at least, even in the 0 hour, just to keep them strong. So it's like, all right, who's going against Divine Dominion? It has to be the Brawling Birds. They've been beating everybody, but they're not even in tag team matches. So how do you justify them getting a tag title shot? You got Windsor, who's in the tournament, Jamie Hayter, who's doing singles matches all the time. It's like, they're not wrestling in tag matches. But this matchup itself, though, was really, really good. Really good matchup. And I got to say, shout out to Tekla, because she wrestled really good and she had food poisoning, right? She had food poisoning in this matchup and she still wrestled amazingly. So Tekla's been an amazing champion. I think that she's doing great with that title. And I agree. I don't see no one taking it from her. If it's not Mercedes, then who? And
the only good part about this whole matchup was really about the Shida and Statlander, which led to the Philly Street Fight on Wednesday, which was a fucking crazy match between these two. Listen, I got to give shout out to Statlander, because Statlander, that's a badass bitch, bro. That chick, she doesn't care about bleeding. She doesn't care about taking shots. I mean, they hit her with fucking fluorescent light bulbs behind her back on Wednesday. She had her whole back cut up. Okay. And then taking shots with the Kindle stick 3 nights before. She's a badass. You know what I'm saying? And then before that, I think I forgot who she was wrestling when she did a split and she caught a bunch of thumbtacks in her thighs and whatnot.
That was with Willow. That was like last year, right?
That girl's a badass. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was the only reason I think that they set up that match, because I think they needed Tekla to defend her belt, even though Tekla was bitching and more, not bitching, but she was just fucking having beef with all these girls. They were saying, I love her, I love Tekla. But that was the main storyline. So, which led to the Philly Street Fight. Now, where does now Shida goes? Like I said, I think Shida and Cameron are going to feud because she got involved. What does Chris Statlander goes from here? Who knows? I mean,
maybe she's the wild card.
Huh?
Maybe she's the wild card.
Because
Because I wouldn't be mad at Statlander versus Tekla 1-on-1 at All In. She's a huge star. And the last 2 times that they fought, Tekla had the Sisters of Sin win the matchup for her. She had the interference. So you could do like a cage match or something with them at All In, and it would make sense. If Mercedes is not ready to come back right now, put Statlander there. There's nothing for her to do.
Yeah, that's about right. Now, Stadium Stampede. Now, the Stadium Stampede, I expected more. But because of the New York State Athletic Commission, there was no blood and whatnot. This is probably one of the worst Stadium Stampede I ever saw, to be honest, because they were all over the place. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we knew that Jericho's team was going to win. I think the most craziest part they did was the whole Jack Perry with a damn bus trying to kill freaking Mark Davis.
Yeah.
But then Mark Davis pops out, and I'm like, okay. So they kind of messed up there, and I was like, okay. I think this was probably maybe not the greatest match in the whole damn. Even though they advertised as one of the craziest, but it didn't live, to me, it didn't live up to the hype. What was your thought about that?
I thought it was a lot of fun. I mean, like they had a lot of limitations because it wasn't just blood. Like the Athletic Commission didn't want them wrestling in the crowd, right? You don't really see like brawls in the crowd in New York, and it's because it's not allowed, right? And if you take away the brawling in the crowd, which is what these matches usually have, they're brawling all in the crowd, all in the concession stands, and all that. You take that away, you take away the blood. Then like it's just going to be a crazy brawl, but you're going to have a lot of limitations. And the thing is, I don't know how the Athletic Commission could allow a flaming table, but you can't have any blood. Like you want to allow fire, you want to allow fire in the venue, but these guys can't fake fight in the fucking crowd.
Table. Yeah,
it makes no sense to me. So that didn't make sense. I feel like it went a little too long, right? It kept on going and going. I like the little comedy spots that they had with like Leo Rush and like Bobby Lashley because they used to be like a tangent together back in the day. I felt like it was just a way to get all the big names on the show. Like it was fun for what it was, but they just wanted to get like a bunch of big names on that show. You didn't have a spot for the Young Bucks. You didn't have a spot for Kenny or Jericho or the Dogs. So hey, let's put them all in one big matchup. It's what AEW does. They have these 5-on-5s every week. So it's like for the pay-per-view, you might as well make it a 7-on-7, make it bigger than what it is.
Yeah. So, I mean, I had not much to say about this, but I mean, the right team won and whatnot. I like what Jericho did toward the end. He did the whole Sabu joint and whatnot. At first, I was watching, I'm like, what the hell is he doing? But then I mentioned Sabu. I was like, okay. Then we have the AEW World Title, MJ versus Darby Allin. This was a great match. And even though MJ gets his belt back, well, the biggest news of the night was Kevin Knight. As a matter of fact, not even that. Before we go to the Kevin Knight, the spot that Darby Allin did. And I know
30 seconds into the show? I mean, into the matchup?
No. Before that. No, after that. It was toward the end. My man did that coffin drop from the top of the scaffold and fucking crack his head on the edge of the platform.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you know you're gonna get hurt. Why are you taking spots? But I like the way it ended because he cracked his head open. Now he's losing blood. His body gave up. And I like the way the story ended, where he getting pinned and whatnot. Do you think he did too many coffin drops, and he tried to do too many coffin drops in this match?
Yeah, man. I think that I think the story of the matchup was, just a week in and week out defending the title. His body just finally gave up on him, right? Mm-hmm. And I love that story because, like, every week you see him go through these crazy matches. It's like, yo, how much more does he have? How much more does he have? And then you just see him just like collapse. Like, that's a great story. Even though it's like subtle, that's what I'm saying. When people say AEW doesn't have stories, like, dude, you don't even realize the story is right in front of you. You're just not paying attention, right? Mm-hmm. First of all, for 30 seconds into the matchup, he goes for that dive to the outside, gets his heel stuck on the rope, and then almost lands on his head. Like, I was surprised he even wrestled the matchup after that because he looked like he was really close to like breaking his neck on that match, on that dive, which would have been really scary. But dude, just everything that he pulled out in this was just insane. Like, I like the little callback to the 0 hour too. He did the bang bang before he did the coffin drop because Mick Foley gave him that pep talk during the 0 hour. But the story of his body just giving up on him and MJF capitalizing on that was perfectly done. Yeah,
I mean, and the fact that what I've been saying for over a month and a half, MJF was gonna get that belt back. People were just fucking going crazy, panicking. Oh, why they gave it to the crackhead? Why they gave it to him? Because the man is AEW. He is the heart and soul of AEW.
Mm-hmm.
And even MJF said it. He didn't mind him losing the belt to him because he knew what Darby was going to do every week. I mean, we saw 7 weeks in a row. The numbers were up when he would think about it. The numbers were up when he had the belt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which everybody say, oh no, he can't sell, he can't do nothing. The numbers were up. Okay. And even MJF praised him. So when you got the former champion praising him, I mean, what else do you got to say? You can't. This is what I say. A lot of these wannabe journalists online talk just to talk. And they, like I said on my podcast on Thursday, they just watch the hate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this whole storyline now kind of finishes up, but then a new one started. When we saw Kevin Knight come in trying to save Darby Allin while he was in the gurney and went out. And all of a sudden, he just did that UFO splash on Darby. They caught everybody by surprise. No one saw this coming. Now, I did see, and I did mention this when he won the TNT belt the first time, when he won it the first that night. I said there's something about him that he's being very cocky. He was being very like, Jet Speed 2 belt sounds good. And I'm like, but my man, you just got one. What are you doing? And I saw how he was always giving pep talk to Mike Bailey. I said, these two are going to end up. I thought Mike Bailey was going to turn on him first.
Yeah.
But then it was the other way around. You know what I'm saying? And we saw it Wednesday when he said that Darby let everybody down, let him down. Mike Bailey came and tried to fix everything up, and he got clothesline for his troubles. Now we're going to watch Kevin Knight versus Mike Bailey on, when is it? Wednesday, I think it is Wednesday, right? And this match is going to be good because you're going to have two of the best high flyers in AEW and whatnot. Do you like the whole thing with what they did with Kevin Knight? Turn him heel.
Hell yeah, man. I've been saying it on the dirt sheet, like Kevin Knight, he seems so disingenuous at being a babyface because he's too cocky, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said when he turns heel, he's going to flourish. And I'm not lying. You could go back and check out what's called the predictions for the show. I said I could feel after the way that Dynamite and Collision went off the air with Kevin Knight talking to Darby, the way he was talking to him in that ring after that Mike Bailey matchup, I was like, this dude is going to turn heel. I don't know if he's going to help MJF. I don't know what he's going to do, but this guy was talking way too much. Like, he was saying like, oh, if I could be in, then definitely you could be. Like, it was like, dude, what? Like, you sound too disingenuous. So when it happened, I didn't expect it to happen after the matchup. I thought it was going to be a situation where Mike Bailey maybe comes out to fight off MJF because the referee gets knocked down, and then you have Jet come in, and then he takes out Mike Bailey, takes out Darby, and everyone's like, what the hell? So when that didn't happen, I was like, all right, cool. But then when I saw him out there after the matchup, I was like, what is he doing out here?
Mm-hmm.
To end the show with that too just shows how much they care about Kevin Knight, because he's a future star. He's already, like I said, another young guy who has a lot of career ahead of him. And you have quite possibly the best show in AEW history, and you end it with Kevin Knight turning heel. That just shows how much they care about Kevin Knight. He's going to be a big star. I love this. I think that he's going to do amazing as a heel. I think that the matchup with Mike Bailey on Wednesday is going to be a lot of fun. I don't think that's going to get a proper finish, right? I think that, it's too soon for them to blow that off. So they're probably going to, have a DQ or something. They're going to wrestle again at Forbidden Door, and then that's where we'll see like Darby Allin like return. But
I see him. I see him joining the Don Callis family.
We did get that teased. We did that.
Remember, he approached him. He was like, he said, what is it you call yourself? He said, Jet Speed 2 belt. He said, well, you come to me and we'll talk about that.
Dude, imagine Kevin Knight and Kyle Fletcher on the same team. You talk about the future right there. That is the future of AEW on the same team. Then you had Okada with them. You had Andrade. You got Jake Doyle. You have Mark Davis. Like, that is an insane faction. And you add Kevin Knight to that. I can only imagine.
Don't forget they got Josh Alexander.
Yeah,
Brian
dude,
Cage.
I can't wait for Josh Alexander to come back. Brian Cage looks like a fucking beast. He looks like he's in better shape than ever before. But Kevin Knight turning heel, and then the explanation. I like the explanation. I saw people hating on it. Oh, that doesn't make sense. Nah, like, dude, I was looking, I was looking at you as the savior of AEW. I was looking at you to be the guy to take out MJF, and you let me down. So fuck you. Like, I'm going to take you out now. Like, I put my trust in you.
But then you see how you say that. People say, "Oh, I didn't like it." You don't pay attention then, because he's been acting cocky for the last 3 weeks since he won the belt.
Bro, not even that. Even before that, like when he was feuding with MJF, like a month ago, he was acting cocky. Like they were going back and forth on Collision, right, to set up that matchup on Dynamite. Like he was acting so cocky, and I even said then, I was like, "Yo, he has heel tendencies. When he finally pulls the trigger, he's going to be a huge heel." And look at it now.
And I think when the first time I saw him cocky, real cocky, when we fought Okada.
Yeah,
he was being real cocky. I'm like, first of all, Okada's gonna whoop your ass. You can't fuck with Okada. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
You know what? But look what it became. I mean, and think about it. Like you said, the Don Callis family right now has a lot of wrestlers that are the future of the company. Because, I mean, Mark Davis is another guy. He's mad young too. Mark Davis got to be what, 27, 28? Because him and Fletcher came up at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Davis, dude, he's getting him every week. I see him. He's in better shape. He's having banger matches. The matchup he had with Jack Perry on Dynamite was phenomenal. It's like,
now, my question is, what's going to happen with Jack? Because it looks like Jack Perry is like, he has heel tendency, but then again, he's being a clown. So I don't know where they're going with that. Him and Luchasaurus. I think as far as Luchasaurus is concerned, one point they had him as this big monster. I think they were going to take him to the top, but I guess him and Christian, they just limit his ability to be, because a lot of fans were supporting him.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden is like, he got hurt. And lately he's been like injury prone, because I think, didn't he have like a heart attack, some shit like that?
Yeah, he I forgot what it was. Like, I think he had like complications to pneumonia or something. And he was in the hospital, almost died. So like, I don't know if like he's still dealing with complications and they like are doing things to keep him on TV.
No, he's injured. He got a sling.
Yeah, dude. Like very injury prone. Like I remember a lot of the first 2 years of AEW, both him and Jack Perry were constantly getting injured. I feel like what they do with Jack Perry right now is cool. They're keeping him relevant on the show. It's a different side of him. I personally like it. I just don't know like how long you could keep it going. So like, I don't know.
I want to know. I want to know what they're gonna do when Hangman comes back.
Dude, see, that was my prediction, right? I originally said that if by some reason that MJF loses this matchup against Darby Allin, right? I could understand if, maybe he had like a movie contract that said he needs to be bought for the movie. So it's like, might as well lose it on TV, right? I could have saw a situation where Hangman came back here and helped Darby win the matchup or stopped MJF from cheating or something, because, it would be the story of, you took something away from me where I can never wrestle for the title again. I'm going to make sure that something gets taken away from you and your hair. It didn't happen. I don't know when he's coming back. I would believe that he's going to be on the card for All In, because he's like one of their biggest stars. But where do you put him? Like, there's so much talent right now, and that's the thing. AEW has so much talent,
and now they're pushing Roosh out of nowhere.
Well, they've been building them a while, but it's just like a lot of jobber matches. I like Roosh. I just hope that after he loses to MJF, like it's not.
I don't want him to lose. I don't want him to get pinned by. I want if he's gonna lose by disqualification. Something's gonna cost. Either MJF's gonna do something, but if you go have MJF beat him like nothing, and not only that, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I know you watch AEW. Roosh don't sell.
No, Roosh doesn't sell at all.
Roosh does not sell for shit.
Roosh goes in there, he beats the shit out of you, and he doesn't sell, and then that's it.
Roosh does not sell. So I'm really looking forward for this match, because I want to see if he sells anything for MJF, because, I mean, again, I love Roosh when he was with Ring of Honor and he was the world champion twice there, but my man does not sell at all. Not at all. But what would you give the whole show? I give this fucking Forbidden Door a 9.5, bro. I can't give it a 10. I mean, the Stadium Stampede would have been great to the way I seen other Stadium Stampede, but because of the limitation you said, you can't wrestle in the crowd, you couldn't have no blood. I mean, Stadium Stampede usually is outside a stadium type shit. I give it a 9.5. What would you give it?
I mean, I gave it a perfect score. Like I give it a 10 out of 10, just because of the fact that like everything felt fun. Everything had a purpose on the show. You had such a variety on the show as well. Like if you were into pure wrestling, You got your pro wrestling with Okada and Takeshita. If you're into submission wrestling, you got that with Kyle O'Reilly and John Moxley. If you're into crazy hardcore shit, you got that with the Cope and Cage tag match, and you also got that with Stadium Stampede. Dude, I don't think that you could have done a better show. Like, when you look at it, like, how much better can you have been? And if you look at the Stadium Stampede, even, like, the only reason why it felt limited was because they were limited. Like, imagine if they didn't have those limitations. So I can't really like fault them for that. Looking on that show, there's not one thing I would change. Like, it was an absolute phenomenal show. Every match, top to bottom, like, great show. Even I love the 0 hour, because usually in the 0 hour, you just have pre-show matches. That's it. Pre-show matches, and we talk about the match you see tonight. Having Mick Foley cut that promo with MJF and then giving the pep talk to Darby Allin, it made the 0 hour even feel special. Like, dude, the crowd, the atmosphere. I love the entranceway, the way they did the scaffolding. Like, I was telling people, if you live in New York, you know that scaffolding's like on every fucking block.
Exactly what that is.
Exactly.
That's that project shit right there.
Exactly.
The 15 Nitrous building and whatnot.
For sure. But with that being said, it's like, there's nothing on that show where I'm like, oh, I would have did this different, or this could have changed. Like, amazing show, excellent show. And I don't think there's going to be a show that tops this. Like,
don't be surprised.
AEW finds a way to top it every year. I mean, every month.
Because it's funny, Revolution was so fucking good, right? And then they came back with Dynasty, which was pretty good.
Yeah,
I think this show topped both of those shows and whatnot. You know they're gonna come up with some crazy shit. You know that shit is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Listen, the OPC said I would have put him to have a return at all, since now Takeshita is no longer with the Don Callis family. I said this before, to have Takeshita join the Elite. Have the Elite unite versus Don Callis family. No, but I mean, which is true, because he did come in because of Omega.
Yeah,
but he's not with the conglomeration, whatever the hell. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's like more of like a loose association. Like, I think like if he needs backup, the conglomeration's there, but like he's not going to be fully a part of that faction. Like, let him be on his own. Like, he's been a part of a faction pretty much every time he's been in AEW. So like, let him go on his own and just have a good run.
Yeah, somebody agree with you, bro. Somebody said it was perfect.
You know Thank you, Wally Shakur.
It was perfect. Like I said, I mean, to me, the state, I give it a 9.5 because of the Stadium Stampede. Now, I'm not knocking the Stadium Stampede. I think it was too long. It was too long, of course. But you know, I think because of the limitation that it's like De Niro said, you will allow a table to go on fire, but they can't have wrestling matches inside. Are you kidding me? Like,
can't have blood, but you can have fire. Like,
you can have blood. No, we can't have blood because you might catch a disease or something. But it's all right if you get 30-degree burns in your body. What?
Do you know the app, the Citizens app, where like if there's like a crime going? You heard about what happened?
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah, you heard about during Stadium Stampede, the surrounding areas were getting Citizens apps that there's a brawl at the Louis Armstrong Stadium.
Oh God.
Yeah, no, people were reporting it to the cops. Yeah, it was talked about in the post, the scrum. Tony Khan was saying that there was a concern because authorities were called because there was a brawl. Like, people were reporting a car collision because of the bus.
Yeah, that was the bus. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That should remind me of WCW.
Yeah, when the MGM, when they threw Mysterio and all that.
People call the cops.
Yeah,
the NWO attacked the whole WCW in the back. That's just, I can't, bro. This is crazy. He said, "Can we say by far Double is better than Revolution?"
I agree. Yeah, I think it is. I think it is. Revolution was amazing. But...
And then, you know, it's funny because online, you know, people always comparing. Somebody had the nerve to say, "Was Double or Nothing better than WrestleMania?" Really? Do you even have to ask?
Dude, I seen somebody that said that because it was in the same weekend that Saturday night's main event was better than Double or Nothing. Like, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself at that point. Like,
bro,
screw you. Logan Paul in the main event was so much better, right? Like, get out of here, bro.
So I mean, to me, that Saturday night main event was children's game. You know what I'm saying? That shit was like the women's matches were horrible. Both of the women's matches. I think the only match, if I remember, was the other matches in there. There was, I mean, the tag team was pretty good.
Penta and Page. Penta and Ethan Page was good.
Yeah, that was pretty good because I seen them wrestle in AEW. I know what they could bring. But come on, you can't compare.
That was even the best show of the night. AAA was right after that, and it was a lot better than Saturday Night.
Yeah, I mean,
like, come on.
But like I said, people are always going to compare, and it's like the hate for the AEW. I guess it is always coming from the WWE side, and I'm like, don't get mad at AEW because they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, and the company you support is not doing that because they don't care. You giving up their money. You giving up your money to watch these shows. You're paying almost $500 to go see these WWE Raw shows all the way in the upper deck. Come on, and you're allowing it. So you can't get mad if AEW has a better product, better wrestling matches. You don't see that 15-minute promos every week, and if you do it once in a while, but they're all about wrestling matches. We saw it in Dynamite. They started Dynamite the same way.
And even pay-per-views, you got match after match, right? It's like 1, 2, 3. Like you're getting like just banger after banger. WWE, you have a match, you sit 15 minutes of, we'll be right back. Yeah. The loading screen. They have another match, and then we'll be right back. Like
it's crazy, right? Because Dynamite, I got the notes here. The Dynamite started off with the Ospreay and Omega promo, right? Which led to everybody now wondering if Omega and Moxley are going to go at it because of what he said, right? And then they went right to the Kevin Knight segment. He lays out Mike Bailey, and then they went straight to the Demand and Ricochet promo, and then Ricochet versus Jericho, which was pretty good. Yeah. So you see how they do it, but no, AEW doesn't have no storyline according to them. It's just
people hate to hate.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. That's the crazy part, but but that's it for me today, bro. Listen, thank you once again for coming through, bro.
It's a pleasure, bro.
Everybody, look, this is my 7th anniversary for the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. Congrats. Every year I try to bring somebody out, but this man right here, bro, I love just talking to him. We've been here for an hour and 15 minutes just talking about AEW, and again, I want to thank everybody who supports us and whatnot. But Mike, let everybody know where they can find you, because now you got like 3 damn podcasts and no one can find you outside of shit. But let everybody know where they could get you and locate you.
Yeah, now, first of all, congratulations on 7 years.
Thank you, bro.
That's definitely a huge accomplishment. This was a pleasure. I always love coming on here, talking wrestling with you, especially AEW. So, it's always a pleasure, man.
Thank you.
You can find me on many different places. You can find me mainly at Wrestling DeLorean Pod on Instagram. You can find me on the new Ollie Dirt Sheet YouTube channel for every Thursday for the AEW post show. And you can catch me on a bunch of these watch alongs on the Circle of Debate. So subscribe to Circle Debate. Subscribe here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. Hit that like button, because this is an amazing show, amazing channel. And anytime you want me on, I'm here.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Appreciate it. We're close to 1,500 subscribers, y'all. Of course, this is part of the Debate Network. Again, the Circle of Debate. They're on 7 days a week. You know what I'm saying? They on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, every day they're on. And I believe they're on tonight for the Clash of Italy. Am I correct?
Oh, yeah. Tonight we're doing a Collision, and we're also doing the AAA show. And then right back at it tomorrow morning with Clash of Italy.
Yeah, so the Clash, that's right. Well, I keep thinking Clash of Italy is today,
because they typically do Saturday. They do Saturday a lot.
Fucking out. I'm like, shit got me all messed up. I was concerned. I'm like, shit, I'm going head on with WWE. That shit's funny. I was like, what is it? They call it what is it they call it?
Counter programming.
Yeah, counter programming.
This will probably still be a better show than that too.
So, but anyway, everybody, come check me out on Facebook, Instagram, and on the X. Again, like I said, we're up to 1,500 subscribers, close to it, where we need you to support. Again, check the YouTube channel. If you have not seen any of my episode, and if you missed this, subscribe to the channel and whatnot. Also, we're on TikTok. And of course, follow my man, Mike De Niro, for the Wrestling DeLorean. All of these dirt sheets on Wednesday, and everywhere else you can find this guy. You know what I'm saying? So, again, support the Circle of Debate, support the Chokeslam Wrestling Report, and I will see you guys next week with more. As a matter of fact, in 2 weeks is the 300th episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report.
Let's go.
So I might bring you in and whatnot, and I want to bring OPC in there too. I'm trying to get Justin, but Justin always escapes. So I'm trying to get like a 4-way here and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And so we can all talk about wrestling and whatnot. So let's see what happens. Until then, guys, be safe, and I will see you guys next week. Peace to everybody who support us.